Buddy, it's me again. I figured I'm the only one awake here, so I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna go hang out with everybody. I don't know if I'll get anybody in here. I know there's several other people live, so I didn't really mean to go over the, over anybody, but might impossible not to, you know. Oh, sorry. Grace decided to head by the phone. Anyway, so this is mostly for the replay crew this is for the replay crew since there's not anybody in here just yet. So for the replay crew, hi, and thank you for being on replay. And please don't forget to hit the like or the dislike, whichever you choose. Can't tell you how to think. And please, if you're not subscribed, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe. That would be great. So anyway, hello from Sabrina and I. Doesn't she look thrilled? Hey, Sandy. And I've got Gray over here too. How are you doing, Sandy? Thank you for popping in and thank you for modding. I guess Sabrina's decided I'm too talkative and she's going to leave me. she, she done left me and she's over on the cat tower. She says she's done with me for right now. I'm sorry. I know there's a few other people live, but I'm okay. I'm feeling a little bit better. Not feeling great, but Canada's... Hi to Canada. Oh, hi, hello to Canada. How are you? I am in northern Georgia. No, I'm feeling a little bit better. My husband's really sick today, though. He's running a fever and all that good stuff. Well, haunted history. I don't believe I've gotten to meet you yet. So welcome in. And hey, Eric. Anyway, haunted history. That's right up my alley. I love talking about I love paranormal stuff and I love history. Yeah, there's stuff going around. We think he's pretty sure he's getting cellulitis again. I know I said I thought that's what I was getting, but he gets it really bad. Like he a lot of times ends up in the hospital with it. Hey, I don't blame you getting relaxed and just enjoy your weekend from work. And I don't blame you at all. And this is Skylar. Just decided to be very affectionate. Anyway, and before anybody asks, Jasper has once again abandoned me. For the kiddo. Hi, Stevie. Welcome in. Yeah. That's my Skylar. Like I said, for those of you just popping in, if y'all haven't subscribed, I would really appreciate if you do subscribe. I tend to go live several times a week, sometimes more than once in a day. Knowing history says if it is nice this weekend, I might go out filming. Oh, that's pretty cool. Really, Stevie? Yeah, because I went to kind of a small high school. What was the name of it? My high school is in a small town. Haunted history. I live right beside a battlefield, so that kind of. I really love that kind of stuff. Exactly. Yep. Eric was here with me last night, and here we are again. And earlier today too. I think weren't you in here earlier today, Eric? I did one live earlier. But yeah, I'm planning to do another stream from the park soon. I just haven't, health wise and weather wise, it hasn't been cooperating. So the cat, Stevie, that was Skylar. I have quite a few cats. They're always in the stream with me. But Stevie, you said you went to my high school, so what was the name of it? I just want to see if you might have me mistaken for somebody else. Oh yeah, Sandy, haunted history. For me anyway, haunted history is I love it. I absolutely love it. It's fascinating. And no, it's not wine tonight, y'all. That is white grape juice. Actually, I have more than one cat on me. There's Gray. And this over here, that's great. That's Skylar's uncle. This is Skylar's sister Bella. Yep, that's right. You did. I forgot. Forgot you did that, Eric. Yeah, I thought that was kind of funny when Jason didn't know how to take him, and he hit him and had to unhide him. A gray tuxedo cat. Yep, we have 3 of those actually. One of them is over here on the table, but she's not real happy with me, and that's Miracle. Yeah, yeah, he did. Sandy, that was funny. But anyway, I think Papa might be over in Miss Kim's chat. I was kind of lurking in there before I started this one. But anyway, so y'all got any big plans for the weekend? Nothing like Civil War history. I do paranormal, supernatural investigations, history, and graveyard cemetery tours. That would be my dream job. I also do Prohibition, War of 1812, both World Wars, and Vietnam War history. That is so cool. Yes, Stevie, they are all fixed. No kittens around here. Right, Bella? But I mean, for me, the Civil War seems to be like the thing I'm most fascinated with. But that's only because the battlefield is right here by my house. So yeah, I've already done one stream from the battlefield, and I'm intending to do more. But the signal out there is not real great, so I may end up doing like a pre-recorded video and uploading it, kind of showing some of the points around there. Sorry, y'all, my chat keeps freezing up. Oh, here comes Bella again. Bella, she's very sweet. Yeah, we had Stevie. Stevie, since you asked if they were fixed or not, the only reason we have siblings is because we took in a stray brother and sister pair. Here's the brother. The sister is asleep somewhere. Well, the sister, Callie, was already pregnant when we took them in. When we took the two of them in, we wound up keeping all the babies, which there was 5, but, one didn't make it. So, it was 2 boys and 2 girls that we kept. Besides, the mama and her brother. Plus, altogether, we have 13. So yes, we are the crazy cat people and the dog person. We have my beagle Jasper tends to show up a lot in the streams. Hermit crabs and everything else. But anyway. So what's everybody doing this weekend? We don't really have any plans. Go visit my mom and dad maybe, but that's about it. Do those war documentaries from the Canadian perspective. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I would love to see that. I see where Sandy posted your link, so after this is over, I'll have to go and subscribe. I'm afraid to do it while I'm actually on the stream because I'm not technologically savvy. I'm actually technologically impaired. So I would be the one to ask me in the stream. Ow, Gray, he's smacking me. But anyway, yeah, if y'all like critters and you do first responding videos too, that's really cool. But yeah, if y'all like critters and the battlefield and things like that, or I should say, if y'all like critters and Civil War history and stuff like other just a wide variety of things, and you're in the right place. Hey, Dawn, I'm feeling a little better. Not a whole lot, but my husband is actually the one that's sick now. We think his cellulitis is coming back. He's got that swollen lymph node and running a high fever, and well, not, let's say a high fever. I mean, it was like 101. It's been higher before. But anyway, we don't want to do that. We don't want to try to do that again. And I should say, I'm sorry, guys. This chair keeps sliding. Anyhow, you gonna talk to him? That's Bella talking to y'all. But would you quit pushing the phone? She's pushing the phone around, y'all. Yeah, not say that's he doesn't. He does actually. He just finished a round of antibiotics. But it wasn't like a full round. It was just what he had left from. He didn't finish it one time. So he had doxycycline. So he finished those, and now he's got some amoxicillin that the doctor sent in for him for something else. I don't remember what it was, but he still had amoxicillin. He's started taking those again. Hopefully that helps him. Yeah, cellulitis is a very painful, and it needs to go right back to Hades where it came from. Seriously. Exactly. Don't. Well, and I kind of thought that with the amoxicillin. I thought that might not touch it, but I wasn't sure. So he's going to have to call the doctor. They're there for like a limited time tomorrow, so maybe if we call them early enough, we can get a call back. I'm not really sure. But they did call me back and said that basically all they told me is I was kind of frustrated when they called me back because they didn't tell me anything I didn't already know. They did. Sorry. They did say that the D-dimer showed negative, so there's no blood clots. But I had the ultrasound; it had also showed that, so I kind of already figured that. But then all they said about my leg was just elevate it and put heat on it. But why is it swelling? I don't want to just elevate it and put heat on it. I think he did, Dawn. I think we're actually pretty good friends with my doctor's nurse. I think he sent her a message and told her. And no, I haven't injured it. That's the thing, is I haven't injured it. But it's the same leg I've gotten cellulitis. I'm sorry, guys. I'm about to drop the phone there. It's the same leg I've had cellulitis in before. That's why I thought the cellulitis was coming back. I don't know. I think it's just old age. It's like once I became grandma, my body just decided to start falling apart. But I mean, I did have a cat scratch on there, but that's not unusual. I'm too young for that kind of old age. You know what? I was told the same thing when I had cataracts. Those people in there said I was one of the youngest people they had operated on for cataracts. I was 40. That was before my birthday, so I was 46 at the time, I think. You're one of the youngest people we've operated on. Okay. Can you get those out of my eyes, though? So, yeah, apparently my body hates me. But it's like it heard the word grandma and went, oh, it's time to fall apart. But anyhow, so I was actually, Dawn, I started to ask a dumb question. I just realized I already know the answer. I started to ask if Dusty was anywhere near you, but I forgot you're down there in LA near Becky. Am I right on that? Or is it Dusty near you? He's in, I think he's in San Fran. You were diagnosed in your 40s with cataracts too. I think it was the steroids and asthma treatment from childhood that did it. You know, that's kind of odd. I didn't have childhood asthma, but I did develop asthma kind of later in life. I do have, a touch of asthma. I wonder if that had anything to do with the cataracts. Because I have had to take steroids and stuff for it a few times. Plus, I've got the inhaler. And I'm sorry, y'all, my chat keeps freezing up. Again. I don't want y'all to think I'm ignoring you. But, I don't remember what I was going to say now. It's gone. That's it. But that's not old age. When I'm pretty sure when I say something like, I forgot what I was gonna say and it's just gone. That's not old age. I blame the blonde for that because I've done that my whole life. But anyway, but yeah, I was just sitting here kind of thinking, the kiddo's asleep. My husband, he didn't feel good, so he went to sleep. But so you're an hour east of LA, and he's in San Francisco with Club Brain Frog. Yeah, thank you, Sandy, for posting those links. I appreciate it. Sandy, you have asthma too? And now, Don, you said you also have ADHD. My oldest daughter is ADHD. We She just jokes. I mean, we kind of just joke about it because I mean, what else can you do? You know, she she'll just she'll get distracted real easy. And yeah, oh, you're talking about mine? Yeah, it could be. But yeah, my daughter will we laugh at her because she'll be just talking about something, and then all of a sudden she'll just go, "Oh, squirrel!" She'll literally just like she forgets what she was saying. That's her go-to phrase. Oh, look, oh, squirrel! Ooh, shiny. She cracks me up with it. I mean, you might as well joke around about it and have fun with it. I mean, if you can't, you say your train has fallen off the tracks. Oh, y'all. I had a little adventure this morning, sort of. I went and bought, I have to say it kind of quiet so in case the kiddos awake. My daughter's getting birds for her birthday. She's getting 2 birds. And yes, even with all the cats, we've figured out, how to keep them separated and stuff. So that's already prearranged. The cats are not allowed in the bedrooms. So we're going to keep them in her bedroom. But we went today and got the cage. We're getting just a couple little parakeets, nothing major. When I was on my way up there to get it, I ended up in one of those situations where it says right lane has to turn, and I couldn't get over because they had the divide. It was already on the wrong side of the divider, so I ended up having to turn and go down by the local airport and come back around where there's a train track. Can I help you? Just wants my attention. There's a train track that runs near the airport. Jasper, I don't think has ever seen a train. What? You're interrupting me. Can I help you? Anyway, I don't think Jasper's ever seen a train. Well, it just so happened that right as we came out of this little side road that we had to do a U-turn on, the train was coming around. I don't know that I've seen Jasper go from the front of the van to the back so fast because it was literally like the road's here and the train tracks are right up here. You're just a few feet apart. I think, I mean, it's, yeah, he was in the passenger side looking out the window until he realized that how close that train was. And he was like, no. Right. Yeah, I kind of laughed about that for the rest of the drive up there. Kind of took me down a little trip down memory lane today because when it took me on that wrong, when I ended up having to go down that road and make a U-turn, I passed a trailer park where my former brother-in-law used to live, and just made me think of my daughter being out there when she was little. We'd take her out there to do Easter egg hunts. We'd go out there and watch the air shows and things like just things like that. Kind of did that little trip down memory lane. You know. Anyway, going back to the cage, yes, we're getting a couple of birds. Oh, thank you, Antics, and hi, Antics. How did I get to be the sweetest? Well, are the horns covered? Okay, the horns are covered up here. Okay, but anyway, yes, we are getting a couple of little birds. These are gonna be the last living, breathing things that we bring into this house. No more animals after that. But my daughter has been begging, so I just thought for her birthday, people are probably gonna think I'm nuts. Y'all probably already think I'm nuts. But anyway, and truth be told, I had birds growing up, and I miss having them. So that's a big part of it. I miss having birds, and they're so. I mean, they ain't like I said. The cats are not allowed in there. Oh, thank you, Antiques. They're not allowed in there. So I mean, if they ever do get in there, somebody's always right behind them. The birds can be a lot. Yeah, I do have a pretty good idea of what I'm getting into. I had them for a while growing up. And my grandfather actually used to raise parakeets. That was my favorite part about going to his house. He had an outdoor aviary where you would go in like this one little door, close that behind you, and then you'd open another door and go in with the birds. They were just kind of some of them were just kind of free flying in there. It was so much fun to just sit out there with them and and have parakeets like basically flying all around your head and stuff. I loved it. As you know, what kind? The parakeets or budgies, as some people call them. I used to love just sitting, going out there and just standing there, and they'd be flying all around my head. Yeah, it really was. It was a lot of fun. Then my grandfather also he lived in Florida, so he could keep some of his birds were outside when the weather was good. No, what kind am I getting? I'm getting parakeets. We're getting a couple of parakeets. But I remember my grandfather used to have these three parrots of some sort that were right outside the door, and right outside the window. And during summer, he would in the summer he would just let them stay out there pretty much 24/7 because what they loved it. But the thing is, I think they thought they were part rooster or something because the sun would start coming up and they would start squawking and screeching and like, oh, be quiet, I want to go back to sleep. Oh, you raised lovebirds, Antics? Oh, my aunt had a couple of lovebirds. They were so cute. I used to love those watching them. Her lovebirds, I don't know, of course I don't know about all of them, but her lovebirds were not you couldn't handle them. They weren't really, you know, the kind of birds that would just come and sit on your hand or whatever. But I think she might have got them out of a bad situation. But I just loved watching them. My aunt also had a conure for many, many years. Like that, I think that bird lived well over 30 years. Maybe longer. Anyway, that bird was mean. Landlord said you couldn't get a cat or dog and you wanted your kids to grow up with animals. I completely agree with that. You have birds and fish. I I wanted both of my kids to grow up with animals, and as y'all can see, we are achieving that. With my daughters being so far apart in age, it's, I mean, in a way, it's like my youngest is an only child, just like, hey, Tracy. My oldest was an only child for a long time, and now it's kind of like with her being, my oldest lives over an hour, about an hour away. So we don't get to see her a whole lot. And, so basically with my youngest, it's basically like she's an only child, even though she's not. So these animals are kind of like her siblings. And the funny part is, they kind of fuss like siblings sometimes. Oh, you eventually got cats? Yeah, obviously we have cats. Don't we, Skylar? What are you doing? Yeah, so the way that the house that I live in now is one of my parents' rental houses. Well, the house we lived in before was another of their rental houses. Well, the rule at first was no pets. No more birds, but you still have fish. We have some fish too. I did forget about them. But the rule was at first no pets. My daughter was 2. We ended up with this puppy. That was he was a lab and chow mix, we think. Well, I have to admit I kind of we kind of cheated just a little bit because my daughter was 2. She was the only grandbaby. We had her we told her, for her to keep the puppy, she had to ask Grampy, which was my dad, or is my dad. So, what she did, we didn't tell her this part. We just told her she had to ask Grampy. She held the little puppy in her arms and walked over to my dad and stuck that lip out. Grampy, can I keep him? My dad went, I guess. He couldn't tell her no. The cat ignores him pretty much unless one jumps out. Yeah. Our cats think that our aquarium is their personal TV. I have one that it cracks me up. To have one that she literally would almost put her nose on it and just watch them. But the lid is pretty secure, so we don't really have to worry about the fish jumping out or them reaching in, thankfully. My dad doesn't how to entertain an easily bored cat who would prefer to go outside constantly and cries constantly. For one thing that keeps ours entertained is the cat towers. They love climbing them and beating up on all the little, you know, toys and stuff that hang down. Or um, one thing I would love to do, you know, one thing I would love to do is to have a caddy, what they call a catio. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but it's basically sort of like a screened-in porch, I guess, but it's more glassed in. Most of them for cats. You need to get a new one. Your old one broke. Yeah, they broke the last one, and this one so far so good. Knock on wood. Showing a little wear and tear, but with 13 cats and it's been here over a year, yeah, it's gonna show some wear and tear. Yeah, the first few times they see the tank, it's amazing. To them, we call it cat TV. Yeah, that's exactly what I told my husband. It's like a cat TV. Yeah, that would make it hard to have a catio if you live in an apartment. Yeah, didn't you say, Tracy, that they didn't necessarily get along? Were you the one that told me that you had two, that you got one for company and they didn't like each other? Somebody told me that recently. No catio. Yeah, I would love to have a catio. Speaking of animals, y'all, it one of my best friends, my lifelong best friend, texted me earlier and told me that her dog is. She said her dog was actively dying, and they can't get her. They can't get the dog to the vet to be, until Wednesday. And if she makes it that long, they're gonna have to have her put down. She loves this little dog, y'all. She's had her for a really long time. So y'all could just keep my friend in your prayers, or your good thoughts, good vibes, whichever, because this is really hard for her. Understandably, very hard. Yeah, she's If I'm right, this dog is Cherry. She had a couple of them. She has a couple of them that were really, you know, mean the world to her. I think it's Cherry she was talking about. Sorry, but anyway, yeah, it made me sad when she texted me. But yes, thank you, all the ones. She actually, she just. Hey, Eric. Oh, welcome back. See, my friend just almost lost her brother. Just, just was a couple months ago to the C, what they call the C plus math, the the CVID. Um, that's the second time that we've almost lost him to that. This this friend, her family is like family to my family. We grew up across the street from each other. Her parents moved in just right before, I guess, right before my parents. And my parents moved into the house they live in now. I wasn't even a year old. Tracy, no, not here. There's not any that do house calls. And my get, just knowing my, just knowing my friend, I'm guessing that it's probably because, you know, finances when she gets paid or what have you. But this family is, you know, we moved up here when I was less than a year old. Actually, I was born here. Then we moved. We moved again, and then we ended up coming back when I was less than a year old and moved into the house where my parents live now. I was 11 months old, and that's when I met. That's when we met our friends that I was talking about. We have no family here. I mean, extended family. We have, I have my parents and my sister, and and a very, very distant cousin that you know, found out was my cousin after I met her. But anyway, um, but basically, I really just had my parents, my sister, and my kids and stuff. My husband, my sister's other half. I mean, you know what I'm saying. Dawn needs a reality show for her and her cast named The Real Cat Wives. Yeah, she tried care credit. We haven't heard what she probably has. I didn't ask her because I know how she. I mean, I know her. Hey, Adira, thank you for coming in and modding. But who, my ex? Well, there's lots of stories with my ex. Y'all don't want to hear about him. He's a I won't say it on YouTube. I'll be nice. But anyway, with my friend, she's when and his daughter. Yeah, that would probably be something that would, YouTube wouldn't like that. I'll just say it that way. YouTube would not like that story. But Antics, if you'll email me, I'll tell you the story. I'll tell you on email. Well, probably know my ex. Now he's Satan himself. If he is, he's competing with my ex. Sorry. I'm gonna be nice now. Go back to my friend. But we didn't have family here, so sorry, because we moved up here with my dad's job, so all of our family is back in Florida. Well, they would always we would always spend Thanksgiving with them. We'd spend Christmas, any Fourth of July, pretty much any major holiday we spent with them. They are family. When her dad passed away, my parents, especially my mom, dad. I can't talk. I'm so sorry. I'm getting tired. My parents are they're those people that you never miss work. You just don't miss work for whatever reason. I don't care if you're on your deathbed, you're going to work. That's how they've always been. Well, when my friend's dad passed away, I told my job, that I needed off for the funeral, and they were like, "Well, we can't let you off that day." I don't remember what the reasoning was, but they said we can't let you off that day, and he's not family, so it's not a requirement. I said, "Look here, you don't understand. He's not blood, but he is family." So I told him, I said, "Look, you can either let me off for that day, or you can let me off permanently because I'm going to that funeral." Well, they ended up letting me off for that day, and I told my mom what I had done, and I really thought that she would fuss at me for it because that's how they are. My mom, instead, she surprised me. She said they just didn't understand, did they? I said no, they didn't understand, but they understand now. I was surprised that she supported me. Anyway, I don't know how I got off on that little tangent. As far as the ex-husband, I try not to talk about him too much because I don't have a lot of positive things to say. And we do share a daughter. So I don't want to do that because of her. Now, if I didn't have a child with him, I'd probably have a few choice things to say and I wouldn't care. But I try to be nice. Oh, Tracy, that's awful. My grandma was actively dying on the hospital next to the nursing home where I worked, and they wouldn't let you have the day off because she was just next door. Oh, that's horrible. People just don't have a heart. Eric, I have a cousin that absolutely loves, Duran Duran. Oh, Antics it is. Like I said, I'll email it to you. I don't mind emailing it to you. I just don't like putting it out in public because it upsets my daughter to even talk about. Exactly, Tracy. That's pretty much what I did with them. It's like, look, I'm going to the funeral. I don't care if y'all let me go or not. I'm going. I mean, when he passed away, I was the first person that she called because that's just how we are. When I get bad news, she's the first person I call. You know, I mean, she called. If I hadn't, so with them living across the street from my parents, my dad had called me and said that he said I saw an ambulance out in front of the. I don't really want to say their names on here because I don't have her permission, which I don't think she'd care. But he said I saw a. He said called and told me he saw an ambulance out in front of their house, and that they had taken the dad. of course, he called him by name, but they had taken the dad. Apparently, he had his wife went in there to wake him up that morning, and he wasn't breathing, and his son was doing CPR. I think they briefly got him back, but we kind of were sitting at the house just waiting for the phone call to see, how he was doing. I went over and sat with my dad, my sister, and I don't remember where Mom was. Mom might have been working that day. I don't remember, but my mom, for some reason, wasn't able to sit with us. Anyway, if I hadn't been expecting the phone call, I would have had no idea what she was saying, because when my friend called me to let me know that her dad had passed, she was not only inconsolable, she was pretty much hysterical, and I don't blame her. Oh, you had 3-year-olds that time. See, that's so hard when you got little ones around. Exactly, Tracy. I don't blame you. Anyway. Oh. I don't know what I just hit. I just hit something. But, matter of fact, we'll get to be on a little more cheery subjects here. I'll tell you a funny story about her dad. Which I can guess the first name doesn't matter. His first name was Peter. I remember her dad was a big jokester. Actually, my dad was and is too. But her dad would, this was Halloween. I think I was like 19. I know I was old enough to not be trick-or-treating, so I was sitting out on the front steps, handing out candy to the trick-or-treaters and stuff. And I remember looking across the street, and her dad, they had this big, huge tree in their front yard. Like one of those trees that it'd probably take 2 or 3 people to put their arms all the way around. So her dad was hiding behind the tree. Her dad was a pretty good-sized guy anyway. But he was hiding behind the tree, dressed as a gorilla, and jumping out at the kids as they went by. Most of them would be startled at first and then just go, "Oh, that's just Peter," and just laugh and, keep going up to the house. Well, I mean, I was dying laughing. One friend of mine that lived up the street, she had brought, her and her sisters were down there trick-or-treating. When he jumped out, I will never forget, her sisters were probably like 4 or 5. They took off running. Their driveway went like this. It's basically straight up. They're running straight up the hill. Here she is, about 12, right behind them, going, "Come back, it's just Peter." Well, I went in the house, and I was still, I got up to go in the house, and I was laughing about it. My mom said, "What are you laughing at?" I said, "Peter, he's over there dressed up, hiding behind the tree, jumping out at the kids." She said, "What is he dressed as?" And I said, "That?" And she turned around, and I guess he had seen me go in the house. And she turned around, and this big old gorilla head was sticking in the door. My mama screamed bloody murder. I have never laughed so hard. It was so funny. It was one of those things, I guess you just kind of had to be there. But, and Peter started laughing. It was a good joke when Peter was laughing at himself. So it was so funny. First, Dad comes, out of the other room. "What's going on?" Yeah, you're like, Peter just tried to give Mom a heart attack. That's what's going on. Anyway, I think I'm a little overly tired, y'all, because I'm over here just babbling. But anyway, like I said, I kind of just wanted to pop on here and just say hi, and because, like I said, I'm the only one awake here. So, and I really need to be doing some stuff around the house so my husband doesn't have to worry about it. He usually does the stuff around here, but anyway. All right, you guys, let's see. On Halloween, me and my brother dressed up as the Grim Reaper, just sat in a chair, and when people came, I scared one little girl. My mom was laughing. My former brother-in-law, he was like that. He would hide back in the shadows and sit like really still and try to be like a statue. And then when there'd be kids that would come and go, "Is this real? Is he real?" And they'd touch him, and he'd go, "Wow." But he wouldn't like yell or anything. That's about how loud he'd do that. He'd just sit up like that. Sometimes he'd make that sound, "Wow." Well, he used to talk about some kids getting startled. Thank you, Dawn. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be on top of him because there was a time when he started out this way, just kind of running a fever. Um, getting there and ran out of the yard. That's funny. But yeah, there was a time when my husband started out this way and refused to go to the hospital. And he nearly died on me about 3 times within 12 days after getting to the hospital because I told him he was going. Finally, I had to put my foot down. It's like, look, you are going, kicking and screaming, or you can walk out, or we can walk you out the door. You take your pick, but either way, you're going to the hospital. He's stubborn. My mom would tell me sometimes, though, you need to make him go to the doctor's. Like, I can't make him. He's bigger than me. Tracy, we're pretty sure he's getting cellulitis back in his leg, and it tends to turn to sepsis really fast. So it's definitely not his first go around with it. But he's been running a fever. His temperature like went over 100, like 101 point something. His lymph nodes really swollen in that leg. So yeah, we're pretty sure that's what it is. That time, let's see. He not only did he have the sepsis and the cellulitis with the sepsis, he also got shingles in his leg at the same time. So his leg looked like a burn victim. So they actually sent him to a burn unit about a 2-hour drive from here. They life flighted him down there. They said something about he had some kind of a reaction to the anxiety meds that they gave him when they life flighted him. And they had to do Narcan. They had to give him Narcan to reverse it. They had when the shingles started popping up on his leg, they were worried that we were going to lose him. Then he was incoherent for a while, and there was his fever spiked really high. Yeah, there was a few times when we really thought we were going to lose him, but thankfully we didn't. So we are going to keep on top of this one to where that doesn't happen again. We'll reverse. Maybe that wasn't. I know they had to use Narcan for something. I don't remember what it was. Because honestly, I don't think the nurse meant to tell us. Which I know that's not the way it's supposed to go. They are supposed. I know they're probably supposed to tell you. It's only for opioids. That may have been. He was so. He was hurting. For one thing, he was hurting so bad, and they had to get him in. They had to life flight him to that burn unit. So I don't know if they gave him too much for pain or what. I don't know how that happened, but I do know that the nurse was. It could have been. I think they were giving him morphine at one point. The nurse was looking through his chart and she was kind of just reading stuff off, I guess, and she said something about Narcan. I said, "Wait a minute, back up. What would you say about Narcan?" Yeah, and she was telling me they had to give him Narcan to reverse something. I don't remember what it was. It could have been Tracy. That may have been what it was. They were throwing so much information at me in those 12 days, and I was trying to note everything down. I'm sure I've got it written down somewhere. I just don't know where that notebook is at this moment. But yeah, we're not letting it get to that point again. Not only because I promised him that I wouldn't, I also promised his sisters, and I don't want to have to run from them. I'm kidding. That's not, but yeah, it got bad. But anyway, guys, obviously I'm overtired. I'm babbling. I'm probably not making a whole lot of sense. So I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Let's see, what time is it? Do y'all happen to know if Miss Kim is still alive? Hey, No Face. We were just fixing to wrap it up here. But if Miss Kim is still alive, we can room rate Kim. So I don't think good. Okay. Yeah, if y'all wouldn't mind, can we get Miss Kim's link posted in here? We can go room rate her because I'm pretty sure Jen is either. I don't know if Jen's going live tonight or not. Thank you, Sandy. I appreciate that. We'll give it just a second until Sandy gets the link for us. And also, y'all, just before I forget, because my brain is obviously not working on on full capacity right now. You know, if you do see somebody without a smile, please make sure you give them one of yours. You don't know what they might be going through. They may, that smile may mean everything. But anyway, so yeah, I'm sorry. Anyway, like I said, we can room rate Kim. Please make sure when y'all go over there and, tell her I said hi and that I sent y'all over there. Best friend. No face town. Let's see, it could be a town. You got No Face, No Bot, the Innocent Shenanigans. You got quite a few. You could make your own little town, No Face. Alright, you guys, I'm just kind of waiting on Sandy to post the link. No, Sandy, I appreciate you doing that. Anyway. Thank you, Sandy. I really appreciate you doing that. So, alright, y'all will go over there. Room raid Miss Kim. Tell her I sent you. I love you guys, and I will see y'all in the chats. And I don't know if I'm going to be live any this weekend. I'm going to try, but, who knows? Exactly, No Face. All right. I love you guys. Bye.